All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of the well, it's normally Tyranny of Dragons, but right now it's my crazy game that's based on Final Fantasy and breaks all the rules because I'm weird. Yes, this is these guys have been playing together for a year, over a year now, which is really impressive. And for their 1 year anniversary, they asked me to do kind of like a weird one shot, and so that's what we're doing. This is based on Final Fantasy V, if you want to know those specifics. And yeah, so they all came together to try and protect 4 elemental crystals that protect the world, because that never happens in a Final Fantasy game. And they tried to stop the wind crystal from breaking. That didn't go very well. Then they went to where the water crystal was. That didn't go very well, and they got arrested after killing magnificent creatures. They were underwater, and they just created this big old pocket of air. And then these orcas just sat there on the ground going flop, flop, flop. And they didn't care. They didn't care. They myrtleized them because they're horrible people. So yeah, after they did that, they got thrown in jail. They escaped to be 100% honest, they escaped in probably one of the coolest escape scenes I know I've DM'd in a Dungeons and Dragons game. And I think I think we rank up there pretty high as far as just coolest escape. I mean, we we had one of them explode into flames and then fly off, and I mean it was cool. So yeah, and then they went to go and try and protect the fire crystal, and they actually did succeed in protecting it. And then this strange werewolf creature showed up and started talking to, I believe it was Kyron, like he knew him, and then during the conversation, another soldier from the Kingdom of Karnak came in, turned the machine back on, and made the crystal explode. So that is where we are right now. You guys have just kind of recovered from the explosion. The castle of Karnak, where the crystal was located under, is in ruins. The city of Karnak around it, with there no longer being a fire crystal, all the like rivers of lava and stuff like that throughout the town, and molten metal and all that stuff, they have all cooled. The town itself, there's really not much fire at all, other than maybe small campfires and things like that. Like, the entirety of fire has not ceased to exist, but most of its power is gone now that the crystal has been destroyed. Oh, I forgot. I have music. Where did you go? There. Whee! So I can get copyright strikes. Yeah, you guys are technically outside of the city of Karnak because you were kind of thrown in the explosion. You were able to collect a few crystal shards that gave you access to more warrior spirits. So yeah, right now you guys are outside. You guys can see on the shore a little bit away the fire ship where you guys fought that fire creature with the elemental and everything like that, and used a banish spell, you bastards. You can see that further down. There's no longer smoke coming out of the smokestacks or anything like that. And then, like I said, you are just outside, probably about a 15-minute walk away from the city of Karnak proper. What would you like to do?
Well, since I had all 4 crystals, I hand them 3 and I keep the psionic, the mystic one.
Okay. So you guys see Carrick holds on to one of the crystals and then gives the rest away.
I'll take the gunslinger one.
Okay.
Gunslinger? Okay.
So Arian comes up and picks up another one and kind of focuses it on a second and then puts it in his pack. Anyone else?
I'm already holding on to a few, so I'll pass on one.
Okay.
I'll take the Dragon Knight. I'll take that one.
Okay. So Kyron picks up the Dragon Knight crystal, leaving the Blood Hunter.
I look at John and I'm just like, you want it?
I mean, I'll take it if no one's going to take it, but I'm probably going to stay sorcerer.
I'm good.
Alright, I hand the Blood Hunter to Samuel.
Okay. So you guys have now divvied up the crystals. You guys are aware of the fact that 3 of the crystals, everybody knows where they are because they power these 3 superpowers of the world. The 4th crystal, the Earth crystal, nobody knows where it is except for the fact that it was in the south and it powered and made a country that for the life of me I can't remember right now. But you know, over 100 years ago, a country learned to harness the power of their crystal and made these amazing technological advances. And then something happened and the entire society disappeared from the face of the earth.
I think we should probably talk to Sid about that, maybe.
It's probably a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, the last time
maybe
you guys
good
saw
idea.
Sid, he was in Karnak City. Technically, he was in the jail, but he had just been let out. So, where do you guys want to go?
Yeah, the only thing I can think of is to find Sid and his little lackey. I don't know, I can't remember his name. Either that or talk to the king.
Yeah.
Ronka, thank you, Arian. It's Ronka. I should know this. I've played this game so many times I can beat it in my sleep. I should know this.
So do you guys think you want to go Sid or?
Into Karnak City?
Yeah, for now.
I
Yeah.
suppose.
All right. So you guys head in, and the first thing that happens is as you guys come in, like the entire town, wherever you go in this city, and it's not a massive city by any means, but it's certainly not small. Wherever you go, people just look at you, kind of give you the stink eye. You notice that the overall temperature, like the last time you were here, it was sweltering, despite the fact that it wasn't incredibly, it wasn't middle summer of anything like that, but it was incredibly hot because of all the molten metal and everything in there. And now it's fairly temperate. You've noticed none of the forges that you pass have their forges lit right now. And the whole town just has this very somber feeling to it.
This isn't good.
I mean, I can start fires just by thinking, so maybe I should not do anything in this town. They'll probably burn me.
I can tell you from experience, don't play with their fires. They don't like that.
So we should probably I don't know if people are looking at us like this. No one's gonna want to be helpful, so we should probably just try and find Sid on our own.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They said the last time you saw him, he was at the jail. You guys kind of parted ways there.
Let me try something. I'm still earnest right now, but I get into I hunch down because I'm tall, and I get into an alleyway, and I turn into Kippy, the human mystic.
So you guys watch as Carrick's form changes from a very large being to a much more normal-sized being that just seems very out there.
Alright, I think there's something I can do, and I will. So weird switching these windows. I will use precognitive hunch. I spend 2 mystic points and I get an extra d4 on a check, and I'm gonna try and see if I can tell where he is.
Okay, how are you going to do that?
That's
Are
true.
you going
This
to
is
you going to look for tracks? Are you going to look for his tracks in the middle of a city? Are you going to?
well. Now that I'm in a different body, I'm gonna try and see if people will talk to me and use that mystic hunch to see if I can get to the right person.
Okay, go ahead and make me an insight check. Then.
Insight. Alright. Kippy. Oh, yeah. That's over here. Roll. Ooh. Okay. And then. So that's a 25.
Okay. So, kind of wandering around, you're kind of reading the crowd, and again, despite the fact that you've changed your form, you are an outsider, and you get the idea that nobody wants to talk to you after the fact that outsiders are the reason that their livelihood is gone. But
Alright,
you
I got
do
an idea.
see one guy kind of hanging by himself. He's got a bowl of porridge that he's slowly eating. Just kind of leaning against a building, looking dejected, but he's not. Like, you guys make eye contact, he kind of nods at you, just in an acknowledging way. So he doesn't look outright hostile towards you.
I'm gonna try something.
Sure.
I'm
what's
gonna-
it you try?
I'm gonna find an area where I'm out of sight from the entire town and just drop back into my normal self since I'm from this place
Okay.
and kind of separate myself from the group and have that same look on my face and try and chat up the crowd to see where we could possibly find Sid.
Go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage.
Oh, thank God. 19, since it's plus 0.
So, as Carrick is sitting there kind of using his psychic abilities to figure out who to talk to, you guys don't notice quite at first, but Samuel kind of disappears, and then you guys, having known him before, see him giving you that same look as before, and kind of chatting up a couple of the locals. As you kind of go around, what specific things are you saying? Are you, saying, oh, are you, going like, oh, outsiders, they're horrible, or going, hey, anyone seen Sid? Or, I mean, what kind of things are you kind of chit-chatting as you move through the crowds?
Kind of just relay. You know how when people are in a crowd, how they just kind of like chant the same thing, like, oh, hey, look at that, or look at that over there, what are the outsiders doing?
Mm-hmm.
Just working my way through, and then asking anyone if they've seen where Sid went, because he might know more about why these outsiders are here.
Okay. So as you kind of work your way through the crowd, you you learn some new words that you were unfamiliar with. You're relatively certain you shouldn't be repeating them. And overall, the town itself is really, really focused on the lack of fire, the fact that the outsiders, like the rumor is spread now, the outsiders destroyed the crystal. Is the rumor that's going through the town right now, and that's what everybody is fixating on. You do drop kind of the hint of Sid, and they completely ignore it. The feeling that you get is Sid, at least in their mind, is still one of the good guys. It wasn't Sid's fault that the crystal was destroyed. It's these outsiders.
Alrighty.
So try as you might, you can't get people to talk about Sid. The only thing they'll say is, "God, these, if I had been there, I would have taken these guys out." Or, man. You even get a couple different groups that you're relatively certain, given the opportunity, if they can find a way to get the group out of sight of everyone else, they would probably try to attack the party. They probably wouldn't do remarkably well because these are, again, they're smiths and things like that, so they're not, completely, worthless, but compared to adventurers in general, they're really no match.
Alright. I'm just going to stay how I am and just kind of keep my distance from the group, but slowly walk behind them so they don't get left behind.
Okay. So, Carrick, you got a dude. You
I'm
think
good.
hates you.
I'm gonna approach him.
Okay. So you approach him and he's sitting there with his porridge. What do you want?
Have you seen this man named Sid around?
Well, of course I have. I mean, Sid's the reason that all this stuff got started, and then you guys came in, and then you know what they say, and he kind of brings you in close, and you don't smell any alcohol on his breath or anything like that, but you get the idea that he may not be completely all there. So he kind of pulls you in close. He goes, "You know what they say? They say them outsiders came in and they blew up the crystal so that Walls could come in and just kill us all." That's what I heard. Yeah, that's what I heard. I don't know if it's true, but you look kind of outsidey yourself. To be perfectly honest, are you an outsider? Should I not be talking to you?
No, I'm fine.
Oh, that's good. No one else told me that the outsiders are bad. So, yeah. What, looking for Sid, huh? Sid's, yeah. I saw him go with, the royal advisor. That guy's a pain in the ass, let me tell you. I saw him going with the royal advisor. He kind of took over the inn over there. He said it's for royal business. I don't believe him. I think they just want to drink.
Thank you.
Oh,
And then,
if you see them outsiders, you can give them a big punch in the face for me.
of course, and just so that he doesn't think I'm with anybody, I kind of glance back at the group for just a half second so I know where they are, and then in Arian's head, he hears me say, "Go to the inn," because I have 120 feet of telepathy now.
You do get, after speaking with him and noticing that he looks just past you, you get the idea that his eyesight is pretty far gone. So if you move more than about 10, 15 feet away, you're pretty sure he's not going to be able to tell you from the rest of the moving blobs in the street.
I rejoined the group, but I still want to try the telepathy, so they hear it in their head anyway.
You have yourself a fiery day. That's yeah. Goes back to his porridge. This is good stuff. With all the fire and everything, nobody thinks about just plain old porridge. It's good stuff. Yep.
You have a good day too.
Bye.
Bye. Oh, I love your characters.
So, that one evolved over the conversation.
I'm about to say.
He went through whole bunches of changes.
Started out with Kermit and then went somewhere else.
So, Valium is a really interesting medication.
Oh boy.
And when you can't remember what the accent was that you started with, after you've said about 3 lines, it just kind of, whatever. I just kind of went with it.
It fit the character.
Kinda, yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
So yeah, I've decided I like that character, and he should now appear in every game I run.
There you go.
Make him the big
Oh,
bad in
yeah.
some campaign.
No,
Right.
it's just that's the entire. That's every NPC you meet from now on. Just me. Well, yeah, there was that thing over there. Yeah,
And everybody in the town is related.
it's very hard to. That's where I got it from. If you ever seen Good Morning Vietnam, it's one of the
Oh
characters.
god, yeah. That's
He
it.
goes, it's very hard to find someone named Charlie in Vietnam. They're all like Jin Po. And so we go out in there and we go, are you the enemy? And if they say yes, we shoot them.
That was a movie forever. It's so good.
Anyway, so you
Yeah.
guys have a lead now. Samuel, you're still, you do hear in your head that, go to the inn. But you're still kind of camouflaging amongst the locals. You even, as you're going through, you even find a couple people that you used to know when you'd lived here previously. That they don't even take the time to really catch up. Like generally, it'd be, oh my God, Samuel, how are you doing? And they didn't even do that. They kind of acknowledge you, like Samuel, get over here. We need to fuck these guys up. And that was like it's getting to the point where. It's getting peculiar how focused people are on hating your group. Like you could understand, again, you were born here, you were raised here, you live most of your life here. You can understand losing the primary source of income for almost the entire country is a major blow. But these guys are fixated, violently fixated on the fact that you guys are the bad guys. So what are you guys going to do? Other than go back and talk, we're going to call him Kermit, just because I like that name. Other than go back and talk to Kermit, what do you guys want to do?
I'll wait.
I'm proud of that character.
I'll wait until the rest of the group start making their way towards the inn, and then I'll just, 60, 80 feet, just tail behind them slowly.
Okay. Again, with the fact that you're now to the point where you have people that are technically vouching for you, you can blend into crowds with no issue whatsoever. Again, you were born here, you used to live here.
Yeah.
You have no problem following at a distance, especially since there are other people that are following with you to keep the outsiders in view and see if there's an opportunity to do some harm to them. They just kind of assume you think the same thing. So the rest of you guys, what are you doing?
I'm just like checking in with each person. Like, do you want to go to the inn? I heard people are going to try and attack us.
Do you spice?
Oh, good. So I go up to Carrick and tell him, ask him. So no luck with the dude.
You hear in your head. I heard that Sid is in the inn. I also heard that people want to jump us.
And not in the good way.
I just continue along in my tiefling form, just wagging my tail as I walk.
Alright. So do you guys all head to the end?
Yeah.
Alright, so you guys all get in. Samuel, as they get in, you notice that the crowd that's kind of been following them kind of holds back, and one of them actually just forcibly grabs you and kind of brings you over to a little huddle. And they kind of turn to each other and they're like, okay. They're in a confined space. There's only one way out of there unless they want to jump out a window. I say we do it now. You have other people, yeah, let's do it now. Those guys are going to rue the day that they fucked us over.
Oh, man. I don't... This is my internal conflict. I don't want to second-guess the crowd to make them think that I'm with them, but at the same time, I don't want to encourage it and have murder on our hands.
Well, what would you like to do?
I guess I'll just say...
Do you want to flame on again? Because that works really well. Do we
I guess
have
I'll
someone
just
with
say-
stretchy limbs and someone that turns invisible?
I guess I'll tell them that I'll go around back to make sure that this is the only door, and I guess wait to go in.
One of them kind of turns and goes, yeah. I mean, the kitchen door's back there, but it's rusted shut, but they might try to break out. That's a good idea, Samuel. Yeah. Finn. Leslie. I don't know. Pick two random fantasy type names. Leslie's a fantasy name. Go with him. He may need some help if they try and escape out the back. You guys don't have to take him on yourself. Just slow him down long enough for us to get there. And so two people kind of follow with you. And again, you don't really have a whole lot of decision in the matter. They're not like forcibly grabbing you or anything, but you're kind of they take you along with them. And you get to the back, and indeed there is a door back there with a fairly large padlock, and you can see the hinges themselves are rusted beyond all belief. You can see the door frame itself looks like it is warped, just from years of disuse. And so the door itself is a relatively heavy door, but it's jammed in place due to the warped wood and the rusted hinges and everything. So you get the idea that trying to break this door down, especially from this side, because it opens outwards, would not be fun.
Alrighty. I guess I'm gonna stay put with these two new friends.
Okay. So the rest of you guys go inside of the inn, and sure enough, this is not an inn anymore. You guys notice kind of a situation room towards the back where they have a bunch of tables pushed together, and there's maps and stuff like that. You see military personnel everywhere. You do see some would look like, I guess, medical type people, healers, things like that keep rushing up the stairs and then coming back down at a fairly regular interval. And you do know that this inn itself is 2 stories. You have the main level on the ground, which is the kitchen and the dining room, and like 1 or 2 rooms off there, but the majority of the rooms are on the 2nd floor. So what do you guys want to do as you come in? Unlike what's going on outside, as you come in, people look at you and then go right back to what they were doing.
I'm just gonna look around for Sid.
Make me a perception check.
Ooh, 8.
No Sid. But there are a lot of people here wandering around, and kind of the defining features of Sin is white hair, white beard, kind of very scholarly look to him, and that describes like half the people here. So, what about the rest of you guys? You see Carrot kind of scanning around, looking confused and slightly frustrated.
I'm going to kind of stealthily roll over some of the shoulders and see what they're so focused on.
It's actually not incredibly hard to get near the kind of situation room table, and there's nothing to really hide behind. So as you walk up, again, you're kind of noticed and ignored. And as you walk up, you see a map of the world. You see what looks like ships, little like miniatures of ships in various places on the ocean. And you're not able to get like right up to the table because you are eventually stopped by people going, "Excuse me, I don't think you belong here," and they kind of shove you away. But you're able to get close enough to overhear enough of the conversation to realize that they are preparing for an invasion from wolves. They are relatively certain that they're about to be invaded.
I would like to go up to one of the guards and use my Fey presence to attempt to charm him and ask him if he knows what happened to the queen.
Okay. I'm assuming that's his save. Oh,
Wisdom save.
Wisdom save? Okay. He fails. Because I rolled like shit. So he, I'm going to very quickly refresh, folks. So, those of you watching at home, you may notice strange things happening on the screen. Theoretically, they should be fixed very soon.
I got to refresh as well. I just lost everyone but 2 people.
Roll20, you're working so well today. Thank you, Roll20. You're my only hope. Can everybody hear me?
I'm not sure if anybody. I can hear you now.
You're a little digital, but yeah, I can hear you.
I'm digitized now. Cool.
Yeah.
So you come up to a robot, and so as you come over, you kind of place your hand on him. He's like, "Hi, friend. I'm not. Hi. It's great to see you, man." And he kind of cups you around the back. Damn, it's been so long since I've seen those pointy little horns of yours. It is just... Can I buy you a drink? I think it's a drink type situation right now, as if I say so myself.
End of the world usually.
It's really creepy when you stop talking like in the middle of a sentence like that. Maybe...
Have you seen the queen?
A queen? Oh, yeah. There was some funny stuff on the a fire ship, and she's upstairs right now with loads of like healers and things like that, just trying to keep her alive. She went through some shit, man. Wow, is Roll20 just shitting the bed tonight?
Yeah.
Yeah. John's the only one I can see. It's like a still picture, but
Yeah. Same here.
Yeah, I'm gonna try refreshing one more time. No, we're gonna do it this way. Do that. I just realized I have no idea what this is actually showing. Oh, it's not that bad. All right, who can hear me and who can't?
I can hear you.
I
I can hear you.
Can John hear me?
I hear me.
His silence speaks volumes.
Alright, I'm going to try and do... John, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Okay. For a little bit, I'm just going to do voice only from you guys. Which is really cool because most of you guys have really awesome pictures for your thing, so... Alright, so John, did you hear what he said?
No, I didn't.
Well, it was really cool in my cool Cockney accent, and he said she's upstairs, being attended to by the healers.
Good.
But he said it like, oh, so he said it like this.
That's a very cool accent you have.
It's very cool. It's not as cool as Kermit, but yeah, I mean, it's just because they said we're not supposed to talk to the outsiders.
No,
I'm just not sure how
right?
it works.
Good thing we go way back.
Cool. So yeah, anything else you want to know? He seems real buddy with you.
Have you seen Sid?
Oh, yeah. You know what? Yeah, nobody's saying it right now, but I kind of think, like, after he made those machines, I think that might have had something to do with all this shit going down, right? I mean, he's in a back room drowning his sorrows right now, so I guess he might think it's his fault as well. Who knows? You know, I mean, different people react to bad stuff differently. Like me, when bad stuff happens, I just kind of find someone, beat the snot out of them, and I feel better for a little while. He apparently drinks enough to kill a small boar. You know, I mean, whatever works for you.
That's true.
I knew this guy once. Whenever he'd get truly, just completely mad dog rage, what he'd do is he'd just find a wall and he'd talk to it for like 10, 20 minutes. He'd just be sitting there like yelling at a wall. And now that I think about it, he did that when he wasn't mad too. I don't think it was all there.
You. I just gotta laugh. That's a good one.
Right. Well, remember, I owe you a drink. I mean, right now, Sid's drinking all the drinks for us, so I can't get you one right now. But
that's right, then I'll buy the round after that.
That's good. It's nice. It's nice to see a friendly face in here with all this negative stuff going on.
It is.
But I'm all right. I'm still doing my duty, despite the fact we're all going to be speaking waltz in like a month.
Oh, I'd rather die than let that happen.
Oh, me too.
Alright, you have a fiery day.
You as well. Flame on.
Flame on.
Yeah.
And I go back to the others.
Okay.
Guys, I just found out the Queen is upstairs and Sid is in the back room drowning in sorrows. We should probably get to him before he drowns too much.
Alright.
So where do you guys want to go?
We head to the back room.
All right.
Yep.
As you get in there, the door is closed, and as you approach it, the door itself shudders, and you hear the shatter of glass from the other side of the door.
I open the door.
As you open the door, you see Sid sitting there. You notice a kind of like a cart bar type thing along the wall with various spirits and alcohol and things like that. And you notice he's sitting there and he's got a half drink bottle of something that looks expensive in one hand, and he just keeps picking up like tumblers and glasses and things like that, and just chucking them across the room. Every so often, he'll take like a full bottle of some of the cheaper alcohol, take a swig of it, and just throw it down. And he comes in and he's like, "Well, so have you come to tell me what a horrible person I've been? I've destroyed the world completely. It's over.
It's not over yet.
And it's all my fault." Make a dexterity saving throw.
That is 11.
You take 3 points of bludgeoning damage and 1 point of slashing damage as a glass is thrown and smacks you right in the face. Shatters. And he kind of looks like, "Oh, sorry about that. It's just that I've dedicated my life to improving the world, and now I've just gone and fucked it up. Completely. There's nothing that I have done that's going to help anybody. I've just ruined the world." Takes another swig.
Tell me, have you ever heard of the Earth Crystal?
Of course I've heard of the Earth Crystal. That's where I got my ideas. When I found the ruins of Ronka, I noticed that they'd amplify the crystal's power. And that's why it came down. I mean, that's why a whole it just crashed to the ground. But me, I saw it. And because I smarter than that, this was 100 years ago. I thought I was smarter. So I figured if I made it just a little bit instead of a lot, that I could do it. That I could save. And I ended up doing the exact same thing as they did.
Did you say you found the ruins?
Well, of course I did. I mean,
Was
you
the
don't
crystal
think
there?
I came up with this entirely on my own. It
Was
was
the
a
crystal there
book in the
intact?
Great Library, and it shows that there was... And that's how they did. No one could read the book except for me.
Do you have the book?
Of course, it's in the library.
Can you show us?
The Great Library is 100 miles away, and there's still good booths here. Why would I want to leave?
Can someone talk sense into him?
I don't have that capability.
I forgot to take the talk sense feat.
Oh,
What do you guys want to do? So you kind of come over, and he, you notice anyone that comes near him kind of has the distinct possibility of getting hit by one of the bottles or glasses that he throws, because he's like angry drunk right now. So as you attempt to approach, I need a dexterity saving throw. And as a mostly full bottle of alcohol comes flying towards you, you duck out of the way, smashes against the wall. The room itself, the fumes from all the different alcohols, just like everywhere, is starting to get to the point where your eyes are watering a little bit. You feel slightly lightheaded just from the fumes of everything. As he gets closer, he's like, "What do you want?"
You see what happened with the other boys. We have to know how this happened anyway. What we can undo the damage, and I think the only way to keep to find it out is the ruin that walks. And you're the only one that can show us how we get there.
You don't understand. You see, for me to get to the room, I found them by accident, and I almost died on my way there. It's across the Great Desert. At the other end of the Great Desert is the ruins, but it's impossible to cross. That's why they call it the Great Desert. The only way I was able to do it was I passed out in the middle of the desert, and I woke up and I was there. I mean, I had this idea where we could, and that's what the fire ship was doing, was we were going to get lots of power to the fire ship. And then we could give it so much power that instead of sailing on the water, it would actually sail on the clouds. And then you have no issue to get it there. You just fly over the desert real easy. Without a power source like the fire crystal to charge the ship, I mean, there's really not what we can do.
I'm going to use blind spot on him. He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Let's say he has disadvantage on that. And that he fails.
Alright, so I'm invisible to him for the next 6 seconds, basically.
Okay.
And I'm going to walk over to his table while I'm invisible to him, use diminutive size, so I use 2 side points and I turn tiny.
Okay.
I walk underneath the table, and then telepathically to him, I say, "Sid, this is the voice of the Earth Crystal. You
No,
must
it's not.
aid these adventurers, these brave souls. They must save us, and through this you can redeem yourself."
Make a deception check.
Natural 20? Oh my god.
So out of nowhere, you see him go, "Shh! Did you hear that?"
He hears in his voice again, "Sid, aid them. I need you."
I heard you the first time. Damn it, kind of a bitch. Yeah, the rest of you guys only see Sid talking to himself.
I would hear if I heard it. I couldn't say that, even though I didn't.
Okay. So he goes, apparently I'm supposed to have... You know, this is really... So what I was... And he hits the ground.
I walk out from under the table, and I'm tiny. So how tall am I right now?
Let's say you're a foot tall.
I just look up at everybody, and I'm just like, hopefully he remembers.
You see, he's still breathing. He's just very heavily intoxicated.
Yeah, I figured.
Well, at the very least, now we know that is great danger. More than we knew 5 minutes ago.
Yeah. And you guys do remember he mentioned something about the fire ship, and you guys, when you were there, you did notice the queen was like drawing energy from the fire crystal to power something. So it's theoretically possible that that's what she was doing when she was down there.
Yeah, so then everything blew up.
The fire ship is still intact. It was far enough away that it wasn't damaged at all.
Do you guys want to head to the fire ship?
Yeah, that might be our bet right now.
Seems like our only bet right now.
I think it's a good idea.
Yeah.
All right, so as you guys start heading out, as you come in to the room, you see a group of what looks like ruffians coming in, and they kind of lock eyes with you and start moving towards you guys in a very aggressive manner. You can see there's about a dozen of them just kind of moving towards you. You can see some of them are carrying like belaying pins. Some of them actually have, swords and daggers drawn. The guards and other kind of military personnel in here kind of notice something's going on, and they get up to intercept them, and these guys immediately just kind of give them this look that they're like, okay. And what do you guys want to do?
I changed the dark trigger.
Okay.
Hello, I can't tell if you don't want to.
So you guys watch as Arian sits there and then shrinks in size, and you see this very bizarre looking contraption appear. Do you have the scatter shot, or can't remember?
Yeah.
Okay. So you see him pull out the scatter shot and kind of go and just point and go, "You don't want to mess with me." And they kind of stop and look at him. But they don't seem completely deterred, just slightly delayed. Anything else you guys want to do?
I will use Thaumaturgy
Okay.
to boob my voice 3 times as loud.
Okay.
And just be like, "You heard him. Go back outside."
Make an intimidation check for me.
Am I still in the room, by the way? I don't care if we all went in the room.
16.
Yeah, you guys are all kind of hanging around each other. With a 16, you see, let's say 6 of them kind of move back and look at that, and they start slowly backing away. Where the other 6 are like, "No, this is your fault, and you're gonna pay."
Between us and them, I drop concentration on the diminutive form, so I turn back to normal. And I cast... I cast Wall of Repulsion. It's invisible, so they can't see it's there, but it's there. If they try and pass through it, they have to make a Wisdom saving throw, or they can't pass through it.
Okay. What's the DC?
I think it's 5 plus 3. It'd be 16.
So the remaining 6 people come up, and as they're coming up, Carrot comes up and kind of crosses his hands and pushes his hand forward, and you guys see this kind of glow emanate from Carrick's eyes, and his eyes just continue to glow for a little while as he's sitting there concentrating. And the guys kind of look at each other, and then one of the lead goes, "You're not scaring us away," and comes over, and like he runs into a brick wall, he goes, "Boom, thud," and hits the ground. And the other 5 guys just kind of see that, and they just rush, and the same thing, boom, thud. And they sit there trying to kind of test it and figure out exactly, because I have no idea what the spell actually does.
It acts like like a wall of stone spell. It's 30 feet long, 10 feet high, a foot thick. They have to make a save. If they fail to save, they can't pass through it.
Okay.
Until
So
the start of their next turn.
They're like mime in a box type thing.
I think we should go because they could eventually get through. It lasts 10 minutes.
I look at the others. Did anyone grab Sid?
Nope.
He's
still passed out.
I go back into the
Probably
room.
pissed himself at this point.
I go back into the room, turn into the bard, and cast polymorph on Sid, and turn him into a little kitten.
What spell save is that?
That is an excellent question. That's a wisdom saving throw with a DC of 16.
We're going to say that since he's unconscious, he fails his wisdom saving throw. So what'd you turn him into?
I turned him into a little kitten.
All right, you have a very drunk kitten on your hands.
I pick him up and put him in my shirt.
The cat's going, meow, meow, meow. Licks you a little bit. Meow.
And
Takes
then I
a bite
walk
at
out.
you.
I walk out and join the others. Does this place have a back door?
One of the guards goes, this very large or spherical man goes, "Well, yes, there's a cook's entrance, but we haven't used it in years. I'm not even sure if the door even works, but if you'd like to test it, it's right through there." He points to a kind of a side hallway off of the kitchen.
All right, let's go.
All right.
You come to a door. The frame is warped, and you can't see the hinges from this side. So you get the idea that it probably opens outward.
Okay. I kind of crack my knuckles and cast Thunderwave on it.
Okay.
I could just punch it, you know?
Samuel, I need a Constitution saving throw from you.
Yeah, because I was gonna say I was leaning on the door out of boredom, so
Yeah.
I don't beat his DC with a +0.
Okay. John, roll damage for me, would you?
You're gonna kill me.
I don't think at level 1 Thunderwave will kill you outright. So
I have like 12 HP.
Plus door damage.
That is 10.
Wow.
They're 10 feet away from me.
So Samuel, you're sitting there, and the rest of the guys, like, they were really fired up, and they still are. And again, this is very, very weird, because you've seen kind of mobs and things like that before. Generally, the more people there are, the more riled up they get. When you start cutting them into smaller groups, the kind of group think and the anger starts to subside. You can actually talk reason to some people. These guys aren't. They're just mad, and they're sitting there, and they're like, kind of, sparring with each other, and they're, picking up random objects to see if they can use them as weapons. And you hear some movement from behind the door, and they hear it too. And so they get ready, and you just barely kind of get off the door and go, wait a boom. The door smacks you in the back of the head, and a wall of thunder energy goes out. You hit the alleyway. You hit the wall behind the alleyway. And then the door falls, and you're seeing stars a little bit. You feel horrible. Your two compatriots are unconscious. And you see John standing there in his bard form, just kind of looking at you.
Oh, sorry, Samuel. I didn't expect to see you here. And he's on the ground, right?
Yeah, technically the door pinned him against the wall and then fell, so he's technically upright. But his nose is all broken, and there's blood coming down his lip.
I rush over and I turn into Ray, and I just touch his face and give him 10 points back.
You come over, you watch as Carrot comes over and goes, wait a second, and holds you by the nose. You hear this very loud crack as he kind of resets your nose, and it's incredibly painful, and then kind of a wave of healing washes over you, and you feel fit as a fiddle, while the other two guys are just completely unconscious on the ground.
That solves that problem. I was gonna try to lure them into a different building and say that there was a hidden passage so I could ditch them, but I guess this works.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go back into the sorcerer and stay for the HP.
You watch Samuel go back into his unflamond form.
Does it seem odd to anyone else just how violent these people have become?
Yes, it does. I think we should leave. We heard that the fire ship might be able to get us to Ronka, Samuel.
I'd like to add that they weren't the most violent person to me today, so...
Well...
Things happen. Let's go while they're still bothered by that wall, because they theoretically can repeat the saving throw every round, so...
So as you guys are sitting there, you hear some commotion from inside, and you hear footfalls and crashing and stuff like that. And the guys that are on the ground slowly start to kind of shake their heads and try to start getting up. What do you guys want to do?
I think we should run.
Yeah, run.
Yeah, let's go.
So you guys kind of run out of there. Getting out of the city is not incredibly difficult. You do have a couple people that try and take swings at you. But for the most part, you guys are able to get out. Just to speed things along a little bit, getting to the fire ship takes the better part of half a day's journey to get all the way down there, just avoiding the roads and stuff like that where there's a lot of people trying to kill you. And when you get to the fire ship, you can see there are the Queen's Guards stationed at the dock that it's set up with, making sure that nobody gets on. What would you guys like to do?
Kind of have an idea, but I want to see if we need to do it first. So someone should talk to them and see if they're willing to let us get on. If not, I will become the queen and make them let us on.
If I have an idea, and I turn back into Kippy, and I'm going to approach one of the guards, and I'm just like, hey, I saw the explosion. Have you heard what the queen... And I'm just going to start talking to him, like asking him different questions about the queen, glancing every now and then at his compatriot. And I'm just like, is there any way we can check out what's going on? We're concerned.
The Queen is alive. She's back in the city and has given very strict orders to not allow anyone on the ship.
Well, I mean, we could try and fix something.
The Queen has given very strict orders to not allow anyone on the ship. Please return to your homes. I know everyone is upset.
We haven't come out of clear order.
Make a deception check.
Okay, I didn't say that. 14.
So he kind of looks at you and he's like, obviously. Because the Queen, after such an ordeal, is going to just randomly pick a bunch of... And now he finally gets a look at you guys. Very bizarre-looking people. And is going to give them orders. Obviously, she gave you a writ of some sort, proving these orders. You get the idea he doesn't believe you.
Yeah.
How long was I talking to him? For about
a minute, maybe.
Okay, I'm just gonna be like,
do...
I'm going to use fighting words. He has to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, this is going to end poorly. Well, I got a 5, so...
Okay, and
what
I'm
happens?
I look at his companion, and I'm just like, I heard some rumors that he was talking shit about you. Said that your mother was a whore, and that you couldn't have any children because you were ballless. And for the next 5 rounds, he has to fight him. If he wasn't hostile to him already, it's a bare knuckle brawl.
He turns to he's like, son of a bitch! She loved you! And just this wild swing. And they start kind of like duking it out, and they're rolling on the ground and everything.
I just like waving at the other guys. Come on.
You guys have 30 seconds before they get back to their senses.
I just make a break for the ship.
Yeah,
Okay.
I follow.
Yeah, we're behind him.
I mean, my plan wouldn't have involved violence, but
Hey, you know,
Okay.
if it works, it works.
I could have chomped.
I really like... I had no idea the Mystic could do that. I really like that idea. of just going, hey, dude, by the way, what does your mother charge? What? Well, that dude over there just told me she's like super cheap. So it's just, after the fight and I kill you, I'm just wondering how much money I should save. Obviously not a lot. What? That is a very cool ability. I don't know why Owen Wilson was involved in that fight, but seriously, guys.
so
Don't
we're on the
think you're hearing me. So as you guys kind of get below deck, again, the ship looks very familiar. You get to the engine room, you see the engine itself, and it still has power. Like, despite the fact that it's no longer connected to the fire crystal, it looks like kind of like a battery. It's absorbed and retained some of the power, but it doesn't look to be doesn't look like it's got a full charge.
Would I know if we just need to stoke the fire kind of thing?
Make me an Arcana check.
This guy has +4. Okay. 17.
So, kind of looking at it, you get the idea that this fire ship is powered by fire, and the reason it was drawing power from the fire crystal is because that was pure kind of heat. You guys noticed while you were walking down that tunnel that the sides of the tunnel and everything were scorched. So you get the idea that with enough fire, enough heat, you might be able to power this ship.
Do I see like a compartment where the flammable material would go?
It doesn't look like it burns anything like coal or anything. It looks like it just takes in raw fire. Raw heat energy.
Before I do anything, we should probably sober Sid up, because I think he's the only one that knows how to work this out of us.
Daniel,
Alright.
or John, you still have a very drunk kitten that just keeps going in between, like purring and rubbing up against you and then swatting at you and trying to bite you.
I take the kitten out of my boobs and put him on the ground and turn him back into Sid.
Sir? I don't understand.
Anybody have a way of... I was
I
gonna say.
I have an idea.
Okay.
I'll turn. Sorry, go ahead.
No, if you have a spell that'll do it, it's better.
Yeah, I'll turn to the druid
Mm-hmm.
and cast. Wait, which one was it? It would be.
If you have greater restoration, that would be better.
I don't think we do. I'm not sure.
No, I don't.
Do you have lesser?
Do
Druids have access to that spell, so let's say you do, just to move things along.
Okay, yeah, I would cast that then.
Okay, so you see him sit there, and he kind of takes a swing at Arian as he comes up. He's like, "I'll fight you all. Well, that was certainly an ordeal. What? Where am I? Why is the rum gone? Where? Why are we on the fire ship? What? Someone explain something to me."
We need to get to the Earth Crystal before it's too late.
Before it's too late, okay. Well, this ship was supposed to fly, but it needed the fire crystal to do that. You see him just start going over, and he's randomly like flipping switches and pulling levers and turning wheels and stuff like that. Well, this and that, but that's certainly not going to work. Well, we don't have enough power to fly. That's certainly apparent.
All we need is fire.
Well, yes, if you happen to have some fire on you or something like that, that would certainly be useful.
Where do we need the fire?
And he just kind of looks at you, not quite putting two and two together. Well, if you go over here and you just, and he kind of takes you around to where the tube used to be attached to it, and he's like, and he kind of pulls a lever, and this opening forms, and you can see this kind of red hot arcane energy on the inside. I mean, that's where it would go, but it's not like we can just throw like logs and things like that in there. We need actual arcane fire, magical fire.
As he says that, I'm gonna light my hand on fire and just be like, well, I can continuously do this if we just need fire.
Maybe you don't quite understand what we're trying to do here. We're trying to lift a ship into the air. As impressive as it is that your hand can light itself on fire, we will need quite a bit more than a slap.
Alright, I'll just firebolt it and see what happens.
Uh-oh.
Go ahead and roll me another Arcana check with advantage.
16 this time.
You get the idea that to get enough fire from this, a firebolt is going to do next to nothing. You're looking at probably your highest level fire spells cast as much as possible might be able to get you the energy you need. But you're thinking you might be kind of tapped out if you did it on your own. If there are other people helping, you have a better chance of being able to power the ship.
I'll turn into Ernest
Okay.
What about Eldritch Blast?
That would be force damage. We need fire.
Yeah, because I have access to Wall of Fire is out of the question because that's just too much. But I could do
No, to be
Fireball.
perfectly honest, like Wall of Fire is kind of that's the kind of power you need.
I don't want to burn the shit down.
Well,
Would
again,
I-
like you'll be technically casting it entirely inside this engine.
Okay.
The
I gotta
engine,
look
the
up how
engine
long
is
it
designed to
lasts.
absorb arcane fire. So,
Can I use my Tamagurji to increase the power of it?
not with a cantrip.
Okay, Wall of Fire lasts for a minute, so I guess I could. Yeah, I could. I would obviously need help, but
So you guys watch as Samuel sits there and starts concentrating and pushes his hands forward, and this stream of fire unleashes from it, and you see him just sit there kind of concentrating as he pours this fire into the engine. And Sid goes, "Goodness gracious me. Well, that's certainly impressive." And so Samuel is now concentrating. Make me a spell attack roll, Samuel.
+8, I believe. 22.
So you guys see he's just pumping energy into this, and the engine is starting to come to life. But it does look like he's going to need some help. Anybody else?
I'm casting a, because I don't have anything like that as any of my characters. I'm going to cast a 3rd level chromatic orb at it
Okay.
and go fire.
So you watch as Carrick comes over, and he holds his hand together, and as he brings it apart, is 3rd level your highest level spell slot, or?
It's the highest I have access to right now.
Okay. So he sits there and he starts pulling it apart. He looks at it and you see this kind of large ball of fire, and he shoots it towards the engine. Go ahead and make a spell attack roll for me, Carrick.
That's a 23.
So as Carrick sits there creating this larger and larger orb and then just kind of forcing it in, the engine starts coming to life a little bit more. Looks like it still needs one more kind of push in the right direction.
I mean, I have fireball. I don't know. And that would be enough.
You're thinking cantrips probably aren't going to do it.
Yeah.
I'll activate the Dragon Knight crystal.
Okay. So you guys watch as Chiron kind of transforms into, I believe it's a dragoon. Yeah, looks really badass and awesome.
And I believe I have fire breath, I think.
I don't believe you have fire, unless you're are you Dragonborn Dragoon?
Yes, I thought.
That's funny. Sure, we'll go with it. And so you see Chiron just sit there. Make me be a wisdom attack roll for the Dragon Knight. So D20 plus wisdom plus proficiency bonus.
21.
21. And that seems to do it. You see him just kind of inhale, and then this like rush of fire just starts spewing out, and you guys hear the engine start to whir to life, and Sid's like, "This is amazing! You all have this firepower, and I was completely unaware. I simply, well, that's certainly going to do it." And you see him kind of push a lever and everything, and as you guys slowly kind of stop and your spells fade, he closes it. He's like, you and you. He points to John and who else was not helping?
Anyway.
Okay. So he takes John and Arya and he goes, "You two, with me!" And he just walks off.
Aye.
Okay. So as he kind of leads you through these kind of winding passages, he stops and he points at Arian and he goes, "When I yell, pull this lever. You," and he points at John, "with me." And he walks off. Kind of leads you down more. Same thing. When I yell, pull this lever. And then he walks off. And a couple minutes later he goes, "Are you ready?"
Yeah.
Pull!
I
Make athletics checks, both of you.
Oh God.
Can
Something.
Okay?
I inspire him?
Sure.
I will sing to him, "I promise you it'll never be dull. In a world you're all powerful. Above you, don't be afraid. It's Tuesday night, let's do this raid."
And that adds, what, a D8?
A D8.
Cool. You have a D8, Arian.
+1, just watch.
No.
Oh. I thought you got 8 total.
After hearing some karaoke, you're like, I love this song. Daniel, what'd you get? Or John,
14.
14? Yep. So you guys both pull it, and the entire ship starts to rock and shake, and you guys are all knocked to your feet. Not to your feet, off your feet. And you feel this strange sensation like your stomach is just dropped out from underneath you. And as you guys kind of regain yourselves, you hear from on the deck, "You've got to see this! Get out here!"
Do I need to still be in the engine room?
No, you guys were kind of taking a breather because what you did took a ton out of you. So you kind of took a breather for a second, and then it fell.
Alright, I just didn't know if I needed to stay down here to keep funneling stuff into it.
It's a battery. You charge the battery. You don't know how long it's going to last, but...
Just to be on the safe side, I'm going to use 6 sorcery points to get a 4th level spell slot back.
Okay.
Alright, I'll follow them out.
Okay. So as you guys come up, you notice that the wind is just blowing rapidly, and as you come up, you hear this loud... You see these giant spinning blades that are on the end of these long poles in 3 different parts of the ship. And you guys notice that there's no ground around you. There's no sea around you. You see nothing but air. And whomever is brave enough, if you go over to the side of the ship and you look down, you guys are now about 150 to 200 feet above the ground. You see the 2 guys that were fighting very far below you, one of them with a broken nose. And you guys are flying.
Fly. Oh, that fight.
So, where are we going again? I kind of missed out getting pinned by a door.
We're going to a desert where he found the ruins of Ronka before.
Oh, we don't need... I mean, we'll travel over the desert, but the ruins are to the south of the desert. Many scholars have theorized that the desert itself, because of its odd placement and the fact that it's not particularly close to our equator, they assume that the reason the desert is the way it is whatever happened during the fall of the Kingdom of Ronka. We think the valley that the desert currently occupies used to be very fertile and flourishing under them, but whatever they did destroyed it completely, and that's why quite literally nothing grows there anymore, not even desert wildlife, and there are monsters all around. It's just a dreadful... And you see he just keeps talking.
As Ernest, I just nod at him because wizard.
Okay. So the rest of you guys, to move things along, Sid kind of shows you guys how to pilot it and says it's going to take you roughly about a day's travel to get to the ruins of Ronka. Is there any prep work you guys want to do before you get to the ruins?
I want to have some 80s music blaring while I just build up my strength for no reason.
Dun 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 dun, and then randomly, so live and let die. Bang, bang. Even though I don't think that was the 80s.
Not entirely, no.
It's the
Roger Moore
the
died.
Rose
I'm
Zone.
sad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fun fact: first Bond to bite the bullet, or not bite the bullet, but to meet his end. All the other people that have played Bond still alive, including Sean Connery, who's 400 years old.
He's immortal.
He hasn't aged. Like the only thing that's changed about him is that his speech impediment's gotten a lot worse. Beyond that, though, he still looks like he could be in The Rock. Or killing things on a Russian submarine with a Scottish accent.
Right.
I mean, I can do this at will, but I haven't done it before. I switched from Ernest to Kippy, and I'm switching my psychonic focus over to precognition.
Okay. So Carrick kind of meditates for a little bit. You guys get the effect of a long rest.
Alrighty. I don't need to do any prep work.
All right.
Besides the montage.
Yeah, I'm good.
So as you guys get there, you guys see what looks like a ruined city. And as you get closer and closer, Sid gets more and more excited until you guys are hovering, not directly over it, just before it, because you wouldn't want to land on the ruins themselves. And as Sid is trying to talk you through the very complicated process of landing the airship not on water, you guys hear this incredibly loud rumbling sound, and you watch as the mountains that are around you, you start seeing avalanches start as snow and things like that just start falling off of them. And you look at the city itself, and it starts to shake and rumble, and the entirety of the ruined city starts to rise from the ground, and it gets higher and higher, and soon you guys are level with it, and it gets higher and higher, and now it's about 500 feet above you, this massive city-sized airship.
Okay, that's cool.
Yes, it is.
That's new.
And Sid goes, "No! They've reactivated the crystal! That's the only thing that could provide that much power! We must stop them, but that's really high."
This thing can't go any higher?
Well,
Who reactivated
so
it?
we have limited power reserves and nothing like what they have. I think I could fly it up there. However, the issue being, once we get up there, we won't have any power left. And even with your remarkable fire-controlling abilities, this ship is going to fall. So, this may be a one-way trip.
I understand.
I mean, if enough of us have fly, we don't need to do that. Does anyone else have access to fly? Because I can make
I can
two
shoot an
people.
eagle.
Well, you notice how there's all this wind on top of the ship? That's a city flying in the air. Without the power of an airship, you're not going to be able to get past the barrier of wind.
All right, then. Let's kamikaze this airship.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, then. When you get there, I will attempt to slow it down long enough for you to jump off, but in order for this to work, I will have to stay on the ship and pilot her away so that we don't risk destroying the Earth crystal as well.
I could, in theory, teleport us both off the ship and onto the city after you turn it away.
How far can you...
500 feet.
I will have to get much farther away than that. Again, city-sized. No, this is my penance. I made those dreadful machines, and now I must pay for them. Just save the crystal. Please.
Of course. Of course.
We will.
And I will write a song about you.
Maybe leave out the whole getting drunk off my ass bit.
Of course.
All right. Are you both ready? Well, all of you ready?
Yep.
Ready you are.
Then let's
ready.
go. And you guys watch as the airship that you guys on itself starts pointing itself upward, and you can feel it building more and more momentum, and the wind starts to get heavier and heavier. I need everyone to make athletics checks for me.
In this form, what's my athletic?
Of course, -2 modifier.
Okay. 18.
Okay.
Seeing as how I have the lucky feat, I'm going to use that because I don't want a natural 1 right now.
Not bad.
Okay, that's much better.
All right, John, what do you got?
14.
Arian,
15.
Samuel,
16.
what was it?
16.
All right, Kyron.
19.
All right, I think the lowest was the 14 with John, right?
I think so.
All right, John, you take 6 points of bludgeoning damage as you are kind of thrown against the railing. The rest of you guys kind of hold on. You can feel your muscles aching, but suddenly you kind of appear over the top of it, and you hear Sid go, "Now, jump!"
All right.
How high up are we?
Um,
If we were to jump onto the city is what I mean.
jumping from the city, you're looking at probably about a 50-foot drop.
Alrighty.
Where we in the 1,000?
Since I, stupidly didn't take Featherfall, I'll cast Fly on a couple of us so that not all of us are severely injured in the fall.
Well, you get the idea that the just massive amount of wind and kind of the wake from the ship will probably cushion you as you
Okay.
land, just so that we can get to this final fight because I'm starting to fade.
Alright.
So you guys all rush over the side, and you make this flying leap, and you're all coming down. And as you hit the ground, like the air is swirling so heavily along the ground that you actually hit kind of a cushion of air that slows your descent as you go through and finally kind of just plop on the ground. It stings a little bit, but you're able to make it through it, and you guys can see.
As we're falling,
Mhm.
Sid hears in the back of his head the same voice I used for the Earth Crystal. Thank you. Thank you.
I must really be going crazy. Hearing voices in my head. And then you guys watch as the airship starts flying off and starts diving. And then you guys see from the other end of the city this giant stone circular object kind of raise up, and it starts glowing brighter and brighter, and this big bolt of arcane energy goes and impacts the airship as it's kind of falling away and explodes it into 1,000 pieces.
No!
You guys are now probably about 1,000 feet away from... You can see this very large temple in the center of the city. That you get is probably where the bad guy is.
Alright, so what I'm going to do before we take another step is I spend 5 psi points and... Crap, I was just on it. Basically, for the next 8 hours, it's concentration though, I get a plus 10 to initiative.
Okay. So you guys watch Carrick as
Wow.
his eyes start glowing again, and he looks ready to fight.
Oh yeah, that's what it is. Until the concentration ends, I can't be surprised, and attack rolls against me cannot have advantage.
Cool.
There we go.
All right. Anything else?
I
I'm sorry, I can't understand what you're saying. What'd you say?
Turns into the rogue.
Oh, rogue. Gotcha. Sorry. Cool. So you guys watch as Arian kind of shifts and changes and gets ready. Any other prep work?
Nope.
All right.
Nope.
So you guys kind of rush in, and as you get in to this kind of ziggurat-style thing, so you get in, you notice it's this very large kind of open room, and at the very center of it is this giant orb, and you can see a man in this kind of gleaming silver armor standing there, kind of controlling the orb and everything. You can see the orb itself. You can see kind of a map of the world on there, and you see him kind of moving around and things like that. And he kind of turns, and he has this massive cape, and he just kind of turns and goes, "Finally, the pains in my side have decided to join me." You guys want to do anything?
And who are you?
I am the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I control the ultimate power in this world. You may call me X-Death.
Wow.
That's
See,
really? That's the name you go with?
My name will not matter much longer for you as I end your pathetic existence.
Alrighty, I'm just gonna go ahead and start this off and just throw a fireball at his face because I don't like him already.
And as you start to conjure the words, you see him hold up a hand, and as you sit there and throw the fireball, nothing happens. He goes, "Fool, do you think your pathetic magic can harm me?" And you watch him, and he starts to grow larger and larger and larger to the point where he fills a large portion of the room and starts running towards you. And I would like everybody to roll for initiative.
This is a perfect waste of a natural 20.
By the way, the flavor for this ability is that I see a few seconds into the future constantly.
Nice.
Go here. I forgot to set this up. Hold up.
Me thinks I'm gonna have to change my class if magic does nothing.
You don't get the idea that magic in general does nothing. having dealt and having a fairly wide selection of spells that your historic warrior is familiar with, you think he countered your spell.
Alrighty.
And due to the fact that this is a cool fight, probably need something cool. There we go. Alright, let me roll for him, because he's super awesome and cool. And gets my rolls, so that's even more awesome.
Oh, poor Jody.
You may not need to worry about him as much as you thought. Carrick, what you got?
27.
John.
23.
Anyone under a 20? Arian.
14.
That makes you feel a little better. Samuel.
23 as well.
Kyron.
Mine was a nat 20, but 22 total.
All right, between John and Samuel, who wants to go first?
Well, I have a 27, so.
I know, but they both got
Okay.
23s, so...
John can go first.
Go.
Oh.
Not everything's about you, Carrick, okay? Maybe there's
Okay.
other people that want to do stuff, too. Not with your little mystic, I can see into the future. There's no orcas for you to kill this time, you bastards. Okay, so this giant figure in armor is there. Carrick, what do you want to do?
About how far away from us is he?
Let's say he's about 60 feet away right now.
Perfect. That's the range of this. Okay, so I'm going to spend 4 psi points to use Eye of Disgust, is what I believe it's called. He has to make a charisma saving throw. Eye of Horror, that's what it's called. He has to make a charisma saving throw.
What's the spell save DC?
16.
Okay, he makes it.
Okay, so it only takes half damage.
Yep.
And no other effect. 9, 11, 15, so he takes 7 psychic damage.
I should probably put his hit points around here somewhere. You said 7, right?
Yep.
So you sit there and you concentrate on his mind. Roll me a Constitution saving throw.
Oh boy. 19 plus
A lot.
something.
You're fine.
Yeah.
As you sit there and you try and affect him with this psychic damage, you get this blast of psychic energy thrown back at you, and having learned to control your own mystic powers in connection with the ethereal, you immediately put up kind of a mental barrier and deflect this blow of psychic energy from him. But you get the feeling he has a very strong and powerful mind. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
I drop back 30 feet.
All right. As you do that with lightning fast speed, he moves forward, right to the spot that you were previously in. And with the fact that you just moved as he was getting there, he just kind of stands there in his giant form. John, you're up next. Oh, John. Samuel.
John.
We will come back to John in just a second. Samuel, you're up.
I use my bonus action to activate Mantle of Fire, so I'm going to be on fire again.
Flame on!
You said it, not me. And then I will continue with that trend and cast Fly at... I'll do it at 4th level, targeting me and...
What was that? John, can you hear us now?
Yeah, my mic went dead.
Okay, cool. So you're casting Fly on just yourself, or...
I was going to do it at 4th level, but I think Carrick's too far away now, so I'll do... Who's ranged right now? Anyone else range damage?
Me.
I can too, yeah.
All right, then I'll cast it on myself and Arian because you're too far, Carrick, for me to do
All
this.
right.
With touch. And then fly up 60 feet if it's successful.
What level does he do that?
4th level.
He goes off. You see him kind of wave his hand, but you sit there and concentrate as much as you can, and it goes off.
So it worked?
Yes, it did work.
Okay, then I'll just fly 60 feet straight up.
Okay, you are now level with his head.
Jeez. Okay.
Like I said, he's raw bag. As you fly 60 feet straight up, you see him come around with one of his kind of clawed gauntlets, comes around and just takes a swipe at you. 19 plus a lot.
Yeah.
28?
I'm sure that hits me twice. Yeah, twice and then some.
So as he sits there and he gets there, he grabs you in his hand and just kind of brings you close and stares at you. You can see his helmet itself. You can see his eyes glowing through it. The helmet covers his entire face except for his eyes. And all you can see is two kind of glowing orbs of arcane energy behind it. And he kind of laughs.
He takes 5 fire damage for touching me since I'm on fire.
Oh. He is less than thrilled about that. But he takes damage. Cool. All right. John, we kind of skipped you because you were glitching out. Go for it.
Is he wearing like metal armor or carrying a sword?
It looks metal. You're not 100% sure what it's made out of, but it shines, and it's very large.
I would like to attempt to heat it up. I will cast heat metal on it.
Okay, is there a save or anything, or how does that work? I don't have my PHB in front of me.
So, it has to be a metal object or metal weapon or suit of heavy armor. You cause the object to glow red hot. Any creature in physical contact with the object takes 2d8 fire damage when you cast the spell. Until it ends, you can use a bonus action to...
And what level spell is that?
It's a 2nd level, or it's... Yeah, I'm going to cast it at 3rd level.
Okay. So as you sit there and you start concentrating on it, he waves his hand, and nothing happens. Anything else you want to do with your turn? The spell slot is used.
I don't think I have any bonus. Does that count? That counts as an attack, yes?
Yes. Spell attack.
Okay. And I did that at 3rd level, so I'm going to cast... because I think I can do 2 attacks in the same turn. I'm going to cast Thunder Wave on him at 2nd level.
How are you doing 2 attacks in the same turn?
It's a bardic thing, I believe.
I don't think... because that's not technically an attack. That is... the action is casting a spell, which takes your action. If you have extra attack, that's melee attacks.
Okay, that's why I asked if that counted as an attack. So.
Okay. Yeah, theoretically, you are technically attacking, but when it says attack, that means a weapon attack.
Okay, in that case, I can't do anything else.
All right, that brings us down to Kyron.
Question. What? Okay. Looking at the spell Entangle, it doesn't specify a size. So does that really? Would that come? Like?
Go ahead and cast it, and we'll just see what happens.
Oh.
I think it's purposely written without a mention of size.
Okay.
So
that's what I will do, and then I'll cast Entangle.
Okay. Is that a save?
Yeah, strength save against DC 15.
It's a good thing he doesn't look very strong.
Right.
So these vines start coming up and start wrapping around his legs, and these giant vines start to try and get on his arms, and he just rips them out of the ground, rips them off his legs, and seems unaffected by it.
All right. And as a bonus action, I will activate and change into the barbarian.
Okay. Cool. Arian, you are up.
So, is anybody in melee with
Let's
him?
say that Samuel is because he's grappled.
I will use the fly to get out of bed. However, my way here.
All right, so you guys watch as Arian bursts from the ground, starts flying forward with his rapier. Make your attack roll.
11.
And as you sit there and you thrust, it just reflects off the very thick armor.
Can I use my lucky feet on his attack roll?
You cannot, but good try.
Okay. Figured I'd ask.
But I
Never a bad thing to
have
ask.
advantage.
What was that?
I have advantage because he has a
You are correct. Go ahead and
24.
that does hit. So as he sits there and he comes up and he kind of gets reflected off of it, you notice a slight gap in the armor and just fly straight towards it. Going in, go ahead and roll your damage.
Is this the auto crit?
No,
No,
because it's not.
This is not
Oh, okay.
okay.
I was gonna say, whew.
that would be bad.
Yeah. 15 and then that 15 without the
Just give me
I
the whole lump sum. It'll be easier for me.
$31.
That's not bad at all. So as you sit there, you hear him cry out in pain, "Rah!" And he kind of swats at you, but you dodge out of the way as quickly as you can. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Did I use my full movement?
Let's say you did, because you were a little bit far away and you flew up to him. So, all right. So as you're sitting there and you kind of dodge out of the way, you see this kind of big gaping wound that you left, and you watch it slowly start to close up. And then he he's actually going to take a he's going to take a swing at you, Arian. And that's a 2. Ignore him. However, as he has Samuel in his grip, he's going to sit there and kind of try and crush him in his giant grip.
Does this count as a melee attack?
Yes, it does.
He takes 5 fire damage.
Okay.
This is what's gonna kill him, guys.
17. Does a 17 hit?
Yeah.
All right, so he takes 5 fire damage. Ooh, I got 5 fire damage. And then you take 7 piercing damage plus 10 necrotic damage.
Oh,
And your hit point maximum is reduced by 10.
That was a total of how much damage?
17.
17
Okay.
total. And your hit point maximum is lowered by 10.
21 on the concentration.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And as he does that, you notice that the burns on his hand from kind of gripping you slowly start to heal themselves.
Lovely.
And that ends his turn. Carrick, we're back up to you. What do you want to do?
All right, so I'm going to drop to the side a bit, and since I'm at a different angle now, could I do a linear attack that would hit neither?
Sure, he's massive. You can find a way to do it.
I am going to use Breath of the Black Dragon, and he has to make a con save as I spit acid at him in a line.
What's the DC?
16.
He decides that he's going to make it.
All right, so he takes half damage. 5, 10, 12, 16, 22, 28. So he takes 14 because I rolled 28.
You said 14?
Acid damage. Yeah.
All right, so you sit there and you spray this acid at him, and he kind of cries out in pain. He comes down very quickly and goes and grabs, or attempts to grab you.
Okay. As he
really sucks, man. 14?
did he hit? Nope.
All right. So he misses you. You dodge nimbly out of the way as he swings down at you. Technically, that would have happened at the end of your turn. Was there anything else you wanted to do?
Nope.
Okay. So that ends your turn. That brings us to John. Still with us, John?
I'm still here.
Cool. What do you want to do? He's big. He keeps healing himself.
I'm going to use Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay.
And tell him your family tree must be a cactus because everybody on it is a prick.
Yeah, I like that. What kind of save is it?
There is no save.
Yeah, it is.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Wisdom saving throw.
I know that attack. Will a nat 20 work?
No. Oh.
He just turns
I
you.
rolled
You don't even know my mother.
I had max damage on that. He was going to take 8 psychic damage. Well, since that was so useful, I'm going to use Bardic Inspiration and give Samuel my inspiration.
All right. Samuel, you feel suddenly inspired.
What's the range on that? Because I'm 60 feet up.
It is, I think it's 60 feet.
Okay.
We're going to say it works anyways.
And I was
Laterally,
gonna say-
you're no more than like 15 feet away. All right.
Right.
Samuel,
think
you
that-
are up.
Sorry, that inspiration can be used in combat too.
Okay.
Oh yeah, you're a battle bard?
I'm a battle bard.
Yeah. So you can do lots of cool shit with it. You can add it to your AC. It's awesome.
AC
Oh, okay.
damage, whatever.
It's a D8,
Yeah,
so I'll probably have to add that to my AC.
Yeah.
It's a
It
D8.
only you use your reaction to add it to your AC. You roll it and then add it to your AC. But it's battle bards are cool, guys.
What's the diameter on his head, would I think?
Big,
So 20 feet would be no problem.
no problem whatsoever.
Alright, I want to give him a crown of fire with wall of fire, so it's just always on his face.
I like this.
Uh,
Okay.
So I'm on. The downside is I'm sorry, Arian, because it does drop fly.
Oh,
Arian plummets to the ground.
I didn't think that part through because I'm in his hand the whole time.
What level spell is that?
4th.
Okay.
did I say fall damage?
We'll deal with that in a second.
I forgot you were flying. I'm sorry.
Yeah, you probably would. So he waves his hand, and you feel the spell take effect, and then nothing.
All right. So, how does my HP work if I switch classes? Since I'm missing some.
Keep track of how much you're missing, and that
Okay.
will transfer. And with your hit point reduction, that would also transfer for you. So your the fact that your max hit points has been reduced by 10 will travel with you in any class you change into.
All right, and I had the Blood Hunter, right, guys?
Yeah.
Let's say you
we
did.
do.
All right,
You
then
do.
I'll use my bonus action to go to the Blood Hunter because they have a lot more hit points.
All right. So you watch as Samuel changes into this strange. I don't even know what race the Blood Hunter is, but
Dwarf.
oh, turns into a dwarven Blood Hunter. That's kind of badass. Kyron, what do you want to do?
Go into a rage, and then I. How far away is the Mondo dude from me?
Let's say 30 feet.
Cool. So I still make it there. So I run up there and I'm gonna take. I believe I can do 2 or 3 attacks. Can't remember. Within when raging.
Rage takes
Berserker.
your bonus action. So this first
So it would be just be 2.
turn,
Okay.
you can only take
Yeah.
2. If you decide to go into
Cool.
a frenzied rage, next turn you could take 3.
Okay.
Because your
I'll
third
just do,
attack takes your bonus action.
Okay. So I'll just take the 2 attacks against him.
Yep.
Let's see. I forget. -5 is 13 plus 3 is 16.
Just barely, but yes.
Oh, cool. 9 plus 17. God,
Math is
man.
hard.
I know, right? It's 26, so 36
All right. So you come over. You said 36.
damage on the first hit. Yeah.
Dear God. All right.
Oh, sorry, no, it's 26. 'Cause I forget. You already added in the plus 10. I'm wrong. It's 26.
Nah. Give me a couple seconds to do math. Seriously? That's what I want. All right. So he takes the damage. Go ahead and make your second attack.
That's what is that? 18 minus 5 plus. So that's 16.
16 still hits.
Okay. And then T10. 6 plus 17. That's 23. Yeah, 25.
All right. He looks less than pleased with you. Anything else that you want to do?
No, I'm good.
All right. Samuel. He sits there and, again, attempts to drain your life force away.
Is my Mantle of Flame still active?
Was that well, it was a sorcerer thing, so
Okay.
we're going to say that it ended when you unsorcerified yourself. A lot. 25?
Yeah. Wait. Let's see if my D8 will matter. If I can roll a 10 on a D8, then no.
Okay. All right, so your max hit points is lowered another 10. You take a total of 17 damage. And you watch as his wounds start to heal themselves.
Alrighty.
So that was the end of Kyron's turn. Arian.
So I get all
Can I actually use my reaction to Hellish Rebuke? Sorry.
Sure, that's fine. I think that's there's no save or anything, right? You just do damage.
No, it's a
Dex save.
should-
Oh, death
Yeah.
save. Okay. He fails.
Okay, it is 3d10, so that's 10, 17, 18 fire.
Shit. All right. Anything else?
No, sorry.
Cool. That brings us back to Arian. You're up.
1, 2, 3. Did I take fall damage from losing 5?
Oh, falling damage. Yes, you would have taken 13 bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Sorry.
I get on the that ratio again.
Go for it.
That would be 22.
Definitely hit. Roll damage.
With my team.
Because you're a rogue, that's 400,000 damage.
Nineteen.
All right. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
All right. You watch him. The wound that you just gave him starts to heal. And then he looks at you and goes, "Look into my eyes." And I need a wisdom saving throw from you, Arian.
That would be 11.
He is your best friend,
Oh.
and these bastards are trying to hurt him? You cannot have that. To give you the exact wording here. The charmed target regards this person as a trusted friend to be heeded and protected. Although the target isn't under the creature's control, it takes the creature's requests or actions in the most favorable way it can, and it is a willing, and it is willing to give its life to protect its friend.
I'm glad you're not flying anymore.
So, that ends his turn. Brings us back to Carrick.
So Carrick is running under one of his knees, and I leap up a bit to get to the joint, and I'm going to use as my bonus action toppling shift. I spend 2 side points. I go from really small to really big really quickly, and a creature within 5 feet of my choice has to make a strength saving throw or be knocked prone.
Okay.
So about that whole copyright issue.
Yeah. What's the
16's the DC.
as you sit there and you grow and you try and shift him over, he backhands you. And
That was that.
you take 5 points of bludgeoning damage as he does that.
Wait, he actually hit me?
He actually backhands you as you attempt to topple him. Just to
for
add
my
a little bit of suspense and intrigue to the fight.
Okay. As I get hit by that, I reach out because that was my bonus action.
Yep.
I'm spending another further 6 side points, and he has to make a dex saving throw now.
Okay.
How many side points do you have?
I have 22
They
left.
have the mystic is slightly broken the idea that they get crap tons of side points.
Yeah.
But I
that many
currently
sorcery
think
points.
the newest version of it that they're using, I think, is much more balanced than it used to be. He makes it. He decides that he
Okay.
wants to make it, so he does.
He takes half damage, which is 6d10. 8.
Shit! What ability was that?
Corrosive touch.
Oh,
It's the I am a Scion deal with it ability.
I'm sitting there, it's like, I think it's called "fuck you," GM, for not letting me do something really awesome. Yeah.
So he would have taken
resistance for that.
He would have taken 42. He takes 21.
21. Okay. After that happened, he is going to drain the life out of Samuel again. You might have a reprieve this time. 11, because I rolled a 2.
Oh, thank the lords. I have 15, so I see, sorry.
Oh, that would have been really, really bad. Damn. Okay, that's the end of that. That brings us to John. What do you want to do, John? We really could use those hit points.
I am going to cast Heat Metal again on him. At this time at 4th level.
Okay.
I really wanted to have Crown of Fire.
As you sit there and concentrate on heat metal, he flicks his hand again, and nothing happens. But the spell slot is used. Master of Magic. Who would have thought he'd know how to counterspell?
I use my bonus action and switch to Kosif.
Which is
my warlock.
Oh, okay, cool. All right. That brings us to Samuel. Kind of chilling. He's holding hands. You guys are holding hands. Or he's holding you in his hand. You know, the same basic principle.
Has Misty Step 30 feet?
I believe it's 30 feet, yeah.
Would I know gauging the distance if 30 feet would reach his shoulders or his head?
You think that you could attempt that, but they are not stable surfaces. So when you got there, there's a possibility you could fall off. So.
I'm just gonna be.
You might not. That would be you make an acrobatics check.
I am just going to. Sure, why not? I'll just be his little drain monkey. I'll use my last spell slot to Hex as my bonus.
Okay.
And then I'm just going to whack him in his finger twice with my maul. I'm not going to do Crimson Right because I already have a lot of max HP missing, so...
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack rolls.
22 on the first.
That definitely hits.
And 24 on the second, so I'll just roll all 4 at once. Actually, no, because did Hex stick?
It looks like it.
Alright, and I'll say Strength, I guess. So the first attack is 9, 10, 14.
Okay.
The second is... Great Weapon Fighting. Okay, reroll 1. Oh, good. Okay, so 15 plus 9, 19.
Alright.
And I'll move 0 feet. That's my turn.
As you do that, his hand opens and you plummet 60 feet.
And I gotta admit, I saw that one coming.
21 points of bludgeoning damage as you hit the ground.
Already.
Are you still conscious?
Yeah, I still got 29. This guy had a lot more HP than my sorcerer.
Oh, shit! Then I shouldn't have dropped you. Damn it, okay. Whatever.
It's like rewinds.
That and Samuel Kyron. This is about to get really,
All right.
really interesting.
Yeah. So I can go into a frenzied.
Yep. You can choose to go into a frenzied rage,
Uh-huh.
which means you can take. You normally have 2 attacks from your attack action, and then as a bonus action, you can make a 3rd attack.
Okay. Does that count this one since I'm activating the frenzied rage?
Yeah, the frenzied rage is just something you choose to do. It doesn't take an
Okay.
action.
I am doing that then.
Go for it. Make your attack rolls.
Remember, you have reckless and great weapon master.
That's what I'm doing. Let's see, 16 minus 11.
If it wasn't for the fact
That's not
that
gonna hit
mind-
it. Does so. Sorry, what?
If it wasn't for the fact that mind controlling barbarians when they're raging is almost impossible, you would totally be my little damage monkey.
I bet it would be. Let's see, minus. Oh wait, what was it? Minus 5. So that's. This one would be 17.
As you sit there and you attempt to attack, you watch him wave his hand, and this shield of magical energy encases him, and your attack is knocked back.
Still
Is it just right in front of me or all around him?
All around him. If you weren't raging, you might recognize it as a shield spell.
Yeah. I doubt I would anyways, just because I have a 5 intelligence. But I can't do anything.
You recognize it as a super glowy thing. You
Yeah,
still
it's
have 2 more
super glowy.
attacks.
Might as well use your
Alright.
attacks.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'll go ahead and attack him 2 more times then.
Yeah, it's harder to hit him. It's not impossible.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
The shield spell increases his AC by 5.
Oh, well, then I guess an 18 doesn't help then.
No, it doesn't.
Okay.
And if you attempt to use magic missile on him, it auto fails.
Oh, well, that's lovely.
If you were planning on replacing one of your attacks with magic missiles, don't. But other than that, he's still hittable. He just has a much higher AC than he had before.
Yeah, so nothing hits, so I just sit there and look like an idiot.
Ching, ching, ching. Nothing. Anything else you want to do with your turn?
Just look at him and just be like, dick.
That was his last legendary action. However,
Hey.
Arian, these guys are being dicks. They're attacking your friend. He kind of turns to you, and he goes, "Kill them." It is dealer's choice as to who you want to kill.
I hate the but I can't Sam. How far Sam from me?
Love you
Close
too,
enough
buddy.
You can get there, and your good buddy X-Death is close enough that you will get sneak attack if you hit.
Well, I'm glad I have that D8 add to my AC.
Yeah, who knows? Go for it, Karen.
21.
Alright, I'm definitely gonna use that. Come on, 7 or higher. I added 2, so I'm at 17.
So as your blade plunges in, roll damage.
Bye, Sam. Bye.
Lucky I'm out of spell slots, or I would have hellish rebuked you.
It's always fun waiting for the rogue to roll damage.
Alright, let me just erase my HP and put a 3 in its place.
Samuel, you feel the blade of his rapier pierce your side and hit vital organs. As it comes out, you're bleeding profusely. As Arian kind of stares at you with this cold stare, you can see his eyes are slightly unfocused and have the same glow that you saw in the eyes of the creature when you were eye to eye with it.
This is because I dropped you, isn't it?
I really you. Will we to him?
All right, and then anything else you want to do with your turn, Arian?
No.
You watch as the wounds that have been inflicted on X-Death start to heal themselves. You see him make a grab for Arian, which I believe, or not Arian, I'm sorry, Kyron, which I believe I have advantage on.
It's grab or is it attack? Yeah.
Yeah. That's not much better. 15?
That is my AC.
All right, so he grabs you, and then
What is
he's
that?
going to try and drain your life force.
Does that change anything being raged? Is that as far as like AC or anything like that grappling?
No.
No.
Okay, that's
He's
good.
just-
10 plus
his
your
attack
dex and con.
can either do damage or he can grapple if he hits.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's all it is.
It's fun, trust me.
Yeah, it's the greatest thing ever. Well, that's a nat 20.
Well, I do have resistance to all but psychic damage while raging. Does that change
Okay,
anything?
because you're a baritone. Okay.
Yeah.
So I have to do math. I'm going to make this easy on myself and make it 34 damage.
Dick.
You have resistance, so that makes it back down to 17.
Okay.
And your hit points are reduced. Maximum hit points are reduced by 10. And you
Okay.
watch as more of his wounds begin to heal.
So this is what happens when you kill orcas, guys. He makes fights harder.
That brings us back to the top of the order. Carrick!
All right. Let's see here. I'm under him currently still.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to try and topple him to the ground again. So he has to make another strength save.
What's the DC again?
16.
Yeah, he's fine.
All right.
Little do you know he has plus 16 to his strength.
Oddly enough, not that high. His big things are charisma. What are they? Charisma, wisdom, and dexterity. He's got massive numbers for it. However,
All right.
his lowest stat is a 15.
I'm going to drop the thing that I've had concentration on the whole time. Let
Okay.
me find this ability real quick. And he has to make another wisdom save.
Cool. Does 19 work?
Yeah, it does. So he's taking half damage. And nothing else happens. 5,
This mystic has weird ass abilities.
13, 19, 21 halves, so 10.
All right. Still does not seem to like you. You think you might be uninvited for his birthday party now.
I tried to give him visions of disgust.
Oh. And you're relatively certain he was going to have a bouncy house and a slip and slide. So, anything else you want to do with your turn?
No.
He has got a brand new set.
Wait. I'm gonna run away from him and see what he does.
He's going to ignore you because he's got a brand new set of legendary actions.
Alright.
And
I
he's
just ran
going
back
to-
like 10 feet. So.
He's going to drain Kyron again. He still has advantage on him.
Uh,
It hits, but I didn't get a crit this time. So that's
Lovely.
5 necrotic and 3 piercing. So a grand total of 8 damage. Your hit point maximum is reduced
4.
by 5. And
4
you
for me
regain
because
some
of
hit points.
resistance.
Well, he takes half damage because of
Yeah,
his
so it's only 4.
No, I already halved it. It's normally
Oh,
17.
you did?
Yeah.
Okay. So another 4 off. Gotcha.
So yeah, you take 8 damage,
Gotcha.
and then yeah. John, you are up.
Okay, so the Tiefling Warlock looks at him and says, "Roses are red, violets are blue. God made me pretty. What happened to you?" And then he attempts to banish him.
Hey,
Don't
he's
don't
holding
fight
me.
yourself. What's the save?
Charisma.
Oh, he sucks at charisma. It is so much fun playing like actual powerful creatures. Does a 25 beat it?
Yes.
So you watch his giant clawed gauntlet turn around, and a single finger is raised in your direction. Anything else you want to do with your turn, John?
I don't think there's anything else I can do.
Okay. That brings us to Samuel. You're no longer grappled. I mean, that's a cool thing, right?
Well, the only way I can maybe break this rogue mind control thing is if I do Eldritch Blast at our fun giant friend and then use the attack I get as a bonus action for doing that against our rogue friend.
Because he is that blood hunter.
I was going to Crimson Right, but I don't want to kill myself.
Okay. Go ahead and make your attack roll.
Oh, suck it, X-Death. Natural 20 on the first Eldritch Blast.
That misses. He's immune to... Yeah, that hits.
That's 23 on the next one?
Both of
My
those
spell
hit.
attack. 22, okay. And then I'll just roll my attack against our rogue friend. That would be a 19 against your AC there. Okay, Eldritch Blast is a D10. I'll just roll both at the same
Oh,
time.
did you
Or
roll
wait, no, I can't.
concentration? Roll concentration for hex, because I just want to make sure if you hit him with the hex damage too or not.
I didn't. Oh, that's right. Yeah, that's. Where's my constitution on this guy? It's 19.
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
So add a d6 to both of those Eldritch Blasts.
Oh, that's 12 from the hex, 18, 24 on the first Eldritch Blast.
Oh yeah, because it was a crit.
Yeah, it was the
Oh,
natural
okay. I
20.
was sitting there, like, that's not possible. That makes a lot more sense. You said 24?
Yeah,
Okay.
and then I can do math. 13 on the second.
How do you want to do this?
Yeah.
Hold on. Sorry, rogue friend, you still take 7, 4, 10, 11 damage.
Because he just beats you with his maul. How do you want to do this? Giant man.
He's massive, so I guess just aim for the head and hope I hit his eyes because they really pissed me off.
So you see Samuel sitting there, and you can feel the blood kind of rushing through your body. And so you sit there and you raise your hand up, and as you do that, on your maul, you have kind of a point. And so you actually slit your wrist a little bit and collect the blood in your hand. And as you sit there, open it up, instead of a bolt of force, you fire a bolt of blood directly at his head, hits him straight in between, drills directly through the metal, through the skull, goes out the other side, exploding outward. And you watch this giant creature fall backwards. And as it falls, it gets smaller and smaller until it's a regular-sized being, hits the ground, and dissolves away into nothingness.
What you get for drinking my blood, motherfucker.
Do I take fall damage?
Let's say he held on to you until you got to the ground, so you're fine.
Okay.
Should have countered that spell. Should have countered.
My sorcerer didn't have counterspell. I was like, counterspell or fly? I think I'll go with fly. That was a mistake.
Oh, counterspell, greatest spell in the entire game. Counterspell and shield. As you guys sit there, you can feel the city itself start to shake, and you see the crystal itself, which was cracked when you came in. That's powering the city and this orb in the center. Start to crack even further. What would you guys like to do?
I instantly turned back into the druid.
Okay.
Well, I'm almost near
Except for
death,
like a
so I'm just
fall.
gonna catch my breath because I'm almost dead.
Are there machines that are attached to this that are like trying to draw power from
Yes.
it as well?
They look very different from the ones you guys have seen before. They're ancient, but yeah, they're machines. You guys do get the idea that if you disconnect the crystal, the entire city will plummet to the earth.
That sounds familiar. Does anybody know how to fly this thing?
You mean this planet-sized ship?
City-sized. Yes.
Man, if we only didn't kill our pilot.
I start looking around the control panels to see if I can find a lower the city switch.
Look for a button that says "Get me down." Looking at the giant orb in the center, you get the idea that by using basically pure arcane knowledge and power, you can kind of fly this city, but only like there's no buttons or switches. It's controlled entirely by magic.
I could attempt it.
As you guys
And-
are talking, you see another crack in the crystal appear, and you get the idea that the crystal itself is about to shatter. You probably have minutes before the crystal, just from the strain of making a city fly, is destroyed.
I'm going to immediately rush over, and I'm still in my form. I use a psychonic hunch to help me do this, and I'm going to try and slowly stop the machine from drawing power as I try and bring the city to a gentle landing.
I
So,
switch into Bard and give him
knowing how
inspiration.
high up you guys are, and knowing that the crystal has minutes left before it's destroyed, you
Yeah.
have a choice. You could attempt to land the city and destroy the crystal, or you can unplug the crystal and watch the city plummet. It would take far too long to get the city down, because again, this is a massive city. It requires a massive amount of energy, and you guys are thousands of feet in the air.
Nope.
I say we get out of here.
Captain stays with the ship.
You want to? All right. And I look at the machine. I look at all of you really quickly. Are you all okay with destroying the machine?
Gonna destroy the crystal either way, it seems.
We have to save the crystal. Whatever gives us the best chance of saving the crystal.
Yeah, I agree with that. Try and save it.
I look at the last person to answer is Chiron.
I have majority rules. I'll follow what you guys do.
I look at the machine, like the big section of it that I think is like motoring everything, and I probably didn't see it that well during the fight, but I'm going to use breath of the Black Dragon on it and spray acid
Okay.
all over it.
You guys watch as Carrick sits there and spews this acid all over the machine. You see these giant sparks and explosions start happening all around you. You guys feel the city itself lurch, but you watch as the crystal itself starts to slowly ascend, disconnected from the rest of the machinery itself. And then you guys feel your stomachs drop as the city itself starts to plummet down. You guys can feel yourself starting to get weightless as the city is dropping. The crystal itself slowly ascends out of ziggurats, out of a hole in the top, and disappears from view above you as you guys all kind of look at each other. And
I can make
cast.
Yeah,
fly on myself, another person.
I can cast fly on myself and one other person as well, as I turn to Ernest.
And the druid
I
can
can-
polymorph.
Yeah, I just turned into a giant eagle.
There we go.
as you guys start doing that, as soon as you are no longer kind of subject to gravity, you fall, basically, or rather, the ceiling comes down and hits you and pins you against the top of the ziggurat. As it's bringing you guys down, you each take... Wow, I'm really low. $11 bludgeoning damage. That was pathetic.
Now, as a DM, you don't get to hear this. How do you want to do this?
You watch as Samuel, as he slams into the roof, you watch him hit there and then just go unconscious as you guys are pinned against the roof. The rest of you kind of take...
Here's the thing. Do I shift out of my Bloodhunter form?
I'm going to say no.
Okay, because that's the damage carryover would double unconscious me.
Well, theoretically, the damage doesn't technically carry over. It's not like you're transformed like a druid.
Okay.
Technically, if you were to go back to your normal form because your hit points have been lowered by more than 10, you would just be instantly dead. Just unconscious.
I kind of... Can I reach him at all, or am I just stuck there?
Make an athletics check.
It
Okay,
doesn't matter at this rate.
I switched to Zoe, so let's see. Zoe, Ray. Well, Ray, I mean.
Still
Ray's strength is... Oh god, she's not trained in athletics, but whatever. 13?
All right, so you sit there and you kind of fight against this incredible pressure, and you go over and you're able to grasp onto Samuel's hand as you can see through one of the windows in this ziggurat. You can see the ground is getting closer and closer. You guys are nosediving into the ground.
How far away is that window from me?
What?
How far away is the window?
Probably 100 feet easily.
I give Samuel 30 hit points with a lay on hands.
Samuel, you wake up in time to see yourself crashing.
And now I'm switching to Ernest.
So you guys are all kind of looking at each other as the city itself is falling faster and faster, and you guys can feel that the end is near, but you take solace in the fact that the Earth Crystal has survived. And then
as I look at Samuel, I touch the roof and I cast a rope trick and I try and climb it.
Make a concentration check.
Okay.
I wish I had counterspell right now.
Excellent years in counterspells.
And because I have my transmuter stone, I have proficiency in con saves, so let's go. Oh my god, so that's a 19 plus 6, 25.
Okay. You create an extra dimensional space with a rope hanging out of it. However, you are pinned to the roof and unable to pull yourself into the extra dimensional space.
Damn it.
Nice try. As you guys feel a sudden jolt, You are thrown from the roof and thrown forward as you see the ground has come up and meet. And then the next thing that you know is darkness. Suddenly, you guys start to notice a very dim, pulsing light. You can't tell where it's coming from, but you suddenly start to see a kind of a dim grayness start to illuminate. You look around and you see all 5 of you standing in a featureless void. The floor beneath you seems to shimmer and sparkle. The light seems to come from everywhere and nowhere at the same time. And as you're all standing there, the crystals that you've been holding float out of your pockets and packs and force themselves out of your beings, transforming you back into your general shapes, original forms. And they group themselves in the groups that they came from in each crystal, the wind crystal, the water crystal, the fire crystal. And you watch as the earth crystal, cracked, nearly destroyed, descends down into this formless void. You hear the most beautiful melodic sound you've ever heard in your life. It's not so much music or notes or anything like that, just this resonating that seems to kind of fill the entirety of your mind, the entirety of your form. You can feel the resonating in your fingertips and in your toes. And as you sit there and watch, you watch as the crystals themselves start to glow and start to connect and form a brand new wind crystal and a new water crystal and a new fire crystal. And you watch as the other 3 crystals focus their energy on the earth crystal, and it slowly, the cracks start to fade away and it becomes whole again. And in your minds, you hear, "Thank you, Crystal Warriors. You have made the ultimate sacrifice to protect this world and have succeeded. As a reward, the crystals shall remember you. It will take generations for the world to recover from the damage caused by X-Death. But it will recover thanks to your efforts. And history will remember what you did. Rest now, for your journey has been long, fraught with dangers and hardships that none before you have suffered through. The crystals may call you again, but for now enjoy your well-deserved rest. And that is where we will end this adventure. I would like to thank these amazing, lovely... Oh, I never played this, sorry. He wins. Okay. I would like to thank the amazing people that played in the game. I hope you guys had fun. Again, I'm going to see if I can get the video working again real quick here. Hold, please. Just to see if at the very end of this we can actually see some faces. Come on, you can do it. I know you can. There we go. I got one. I mean, that's better than nothing. Can you guys all still hear me?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. So I hope you guys had fun. Again, this whole thing was just a weird idea that I had years ago about running a Final Fantasy themed D&D game. And yeah, this is what it turned into. It was a little bit silly. It was a little bit fun. You guys killed a vampire, by the way. Not just a vampire, a spell-casting vampire. So that's what, like challenge rating 400 or something? Yeah, challenge rating 15.
Whoa.
So congratulations, very, very impressive. So yeah, that was the whole thing. If you are new to this, I do run games normally every Tuesday. The next time you see these guys, we'll actually be back to the Tyranny of Dragons campaign that I normally run with them. And then the weeks that I'm not running, I have a custom campaign called the Kingdom of the Kale Isles that I run on my YouTube on this channel. So feel free to follow me here every Tuesday, starting at either 8:30 or 9 o'clock Central Time. I've got D&D, except for next week because this weekend is a convention in downtown Milwaukee that I help run. So I will be unconscious probably on Wednesday. So nothing will be happening next Wednesday, but the one after that will be my custom campaign, and then these guys come back the following week. You can follow me on Twitter if you want. I'm at Trainer Jody there. I upload all these to YouTube. I think I'm one episode behind on this little thing, but it's youtube.com/Trainer Jody. Otherwise, that is all for me today, and I will see you guys next time, all right? Come on. There we go. Bye-bye.